Good day, everyone. All right, so we're going to be talking about statements. We're going to be continuing our logic. So a statement is a sentence that is either true or false. It's pretty simple so far, right? This is called a truth value, represented by using letters such as P or Q. I'll zoom in a little more there. Okay, for example, P, which is a statement, supplementary angles have a sum of 180 degrees. Now, is that true or is that false? So supplementary angles, now all supplementary angles are any set of angles that add up to 180. So this is true. So we would just put T for true. And that's it. It's that simple. All right, negation. Negation is so a negation of a statement is the opposite. The opposite truth value, shown by the symbol, and that's a little squiggly here, represented. So it's like not P. So that it's that little squiggly right there. So that's not P. Supplementary angles do not have the sum of 180. Now, is that true or false? That is false, because all supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So that was a false statement. So that's a negation. See how the truth value just flipped? All right, so compound statements. They are two or more statements joined by the words and or the word or. So and or. So two statements put together, and in between those two statements is either the word and or the word or. All right, so conjunction. Conjunction means we're bringing stuff together. So the statement joined by the word and the symbol for that is this. Basically, it looks like an arrow going up. And how you can remember that is the N. When you start drawing the word, the letter N, it looks like that, right? So right there. So in this case, this is true when both statements are true. So both statements have to be true for this to work. So, and we'll get into examples about that in just a second. And disjunction. So if conjunction is bringing stuff together, disjunction is not. So this is statements joined by the word or. And if you write the lowercase r, see that right there? So we have the uppercase and the lowercase letter n for and then we have or. So that would be pointing down, basically. So like when you're writing the letter R. All right, so true when at least one statement is true. So it could be one thing or the other. As long as one of them is true, it works. All right, let's do some examples. So if we need to pause that, go ahead and do that now. But if you're ready for some examples, let's get it going. All right, so right here, let's look at these statements, and we need to decide, are they true or are they false individually? So there are 7 days in the week. Is that a true statement or a false statement? That is true. March has 30 days. Is that true or false? That is false, because really it has 31 days. And then Halloween is on October 31st. That is true. So those are the true, false, true. Those are the truth statements. So if I said this right here, P and Q, so this means the word and. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we're saying P, so there are 7 days. Are 7 days in a week, and they said Q, March, I'll zoom out a little bit, March has 30 days. So what we have here is that we had a true statement and we had a false statement. For this to work, they both have to be true. So this has to be true and this has to be true for this to work out because of the word and. So is this a true or false statement? That is a false statement. Now if this was the word or, that would have been okay because as long as one of them was true. But because the word and, both of them have to be true in order for this to be true. All right, let's do another one. Q and R. So this is the word and. Zoom a little bit again. All right. So March has 30 days. And R, Halloween, is on October 1st, 31st. Okay, so that in that case, so March is 30 days, that's false. And Halloween's on the 31st, that is true. Are both of them true? No, so that is a false statement. Okay, and finally, so P and Q. So this is and. So both of them have to be true for this to work. So P, there are 7 days in a week. And R, Halloween is on October 31st. Okay, so 7 days in a week, that is true. And Halloween is on October 31st. That is true. So both of them are true, so this is a true statement. So in this case around, we just happen to have all ands. And that's a pretty good practice right there. All right, let's go ahead and flip, and let's do page 6. We're going to the next page. This might not be page 6 for you, but it is for my class right now. So now we're going to move on to conditional statements. All right, so moving on to conditional statements, we have, let's see, a statement that can be written in if-then form. So if-then form. All right, so for that, we're going to do, so for in this case, so P, and we're going to do this arrow. So this arrow is telling us that we're doing an if-then statement. So if this, then this. So P leads to Q. So P implies Q. All right, so the P, so this is the hypothesis, is the phrase immediately following the word if. The conclusion is the phrase immediately following the word then. That's pretty easy, right? So that's the hypothesis, this is the conclusion, and as simple as that. That's conditional statements. All right, so for example, so if you live in Nashville, that would be the hypothesis, then you live in Tennessee. So that would be the conclusion. So, so hypothesis, you live in Nashville, and then the conclusion is you live in Tennessee. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so you guys should be able to do the number 2 and 3. So boom, boom. So pretty simple. So this part right there would be your hypothesis, and let's underline the conclusion. That'll probably be better. So and that will be your conclusion, right? So this would be your hypothesis, and this would be your conclusion. So it'll be your job to write those down as pretty good examples. So just write those. All right. And finally, let's go ahead and give a couple more a try. We'll just do one more. Let's see. Let's do number 5. Let's go ahead and jump down to number 5. So write the following in if-then statement. So all numbers divisible by 4 are also divisible by 2. So all we have to do is put this in the if-then form. So if, oops, you know what? Let's do number 4 instead. So an obtuse angle has a measure greater than 90. So if if an angle is obtuse, so if an angle is obtuse, so we're talking about an angle. That's what we're talking about. So if an angle is obtuse, then it has a measure greater than 90. Only works if you can see it. So there it goes. All right, so that gives you a nice idea of how to do this, and that's it for the day. So have a great and awesome day.